All right. Frank the Crank Camacho coming off of a huge win last night in Stockholm, Sweden. Man, you got a little bit of rest. How much sleep did you get after the fight?
Bro, honestly, I got zero sleep. The adrenaline's still kicking, and honestly, the jet lag, I still got jet lag, bro, from flying into Stockholm. So man, everything's crazy, and then the sun doesn't go down till 11 at night, and it comes up around like 3:30 in the morning.
Dang. So
Crazy.
if no one gets a hold of you for about 16 hours within the next day or so, then we understand why.
Yeah, I'm sleeping and I'm still alive, but I'm sleeping.
Hey, so let's talk about the big night last night. I mean, here locally, both Guam and Saipan, I'm sure, and the other islands, man, we stayed up late just to watch you fight, and boy, did you come through for us.
Dude, it was pretty cool, bro, to see like all the posts of everyone. Uh, like I know it was like 1 in the morning or something back home, and the wifey was back home. She was watching, and the boys are all asleep. But dude, just the support, man, is just freaking awesome, bro. Uh, and I'm so glad that I got to perform the way I did for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with your entrance song, "Eye of the Tiger." I mean, it's like one of the best entrance songs anyone can imagine. But dude, that's like so 1980s.
Dude, man, but see, that's why I'm an old soul. I'm an old soul trying to educate the new generation because uh, because honestly, like, so the reason why I use Eye of the Tiger is because of Rocky 3.
Uh,
And Rocky 3, what happened, so for those of you that don't really remember, Rocky 3 was, it's when Apollo taught Rocky how to box. He left his home, he left his, I mean, Adrian went with him, right? But he left his home and he went to California, I think, and he trained and he learned how to box because he was tough. Man, for my first 4 UFC fights, I've always been tough, and tough can only take you so much, man. But when I worked with Colin Oyama in Irvine for 8 weeks, man, away from the family, man, I'm a family guy, and 2 months away from my little boys and my wife, man, I had the eye of the tiger, and that song really spoke to me, that walk out.
No, definitely, it's one of the most hyped songs ever. So I just wanted to touch your button there and expose that. But hey, you talk about the switch over to the new camp. What made you do that to begin with, to go to that camp?
So my last fight was the last fight on my contract. I fought Jeff Neal, stud, absolute stud, bro. And I suffered one of the most devastating knockouts I've ever, and the most devastating losses in my whole career, bro. Like, it was like it was kind of scary, you know what I mean? And what I put through, not only my wife and my family, but like my fans, it was just so heartbreaking, So I knew there had to be a change. I knew I had to find it. I knew that I had to go back down to 155 to my weight class where I'm optimal. And man, I just needed to kind of change the way I train, and maybe I needed to get away from family. And I through my manager Jason House, I met Coach Colin Oyama, world-renowned coach, coached Rampage, Tito Ortiz, and man, uh, Carla Esparza, UFC champion, so all these names. And he's just your local Hawaiian boy, man, that's been living in California for the longest time. And he we clicked when we trained, when I got to train with him, man. And he can just, I know how to punch, I know how to kick, I know how to fight, but he really just knows how to coach and show me the way of the fight. And it was cool because not only that, I was so happy with the win, like, it was so cool to really implement what we were working on for 8 weeks. Kick the body, punch, and punch and punch his head.
Yeah. So, I'm sure for a fighter, every camp you get better and better. And during camp, you're like, oh, okay, that's how it is. you just turned 30. Your birthday was just a couple of weeks ago. You had this 8-week camp. How much of that camp did you say, oh man, I got that? Okay, now I understand that.
Man, honestly, it wasn't like every session, man, brother Pat, every session, I'm just so stimulated. Like, yeah, I'm tired and I'm freaking exhausted from physical training, but I am so excited and stimulated by the amount of knowledge and information that, okay, man, next session I need to do this. Next session I need to do that. So I stay the extra hour at the gym to practice on the bag. I stay the extra hour to work with the instructor, like it's like, man, I feel like a student again. I feel like I feel so in love again with the game, And then I'm staying at the fighter house with a bunch of young guys, dude, 22, 23, 18, 19 from all over the world, from Mexico, from Japan, young broke fighters that just have the fire in their eyes, bro. And I was like, man, this it kind of just reignited the flame, and I was like, man, this is still me, dude. Like, yeah, I know I'm 30 and I have a wife and I have 2 kids, but yo, like, I still have this fire in me, like, and that just was more of an indication that, yo, I'm still in the game, bro. And I got a couple more years to really take it to the next level, and I can't just sit back and just hope that it comes together. Like, I really need to be proactive with it.
So I've always I've been a student of the game since it was a tough man sport, and I've noticed that the prime of a fighter, the age is probably on the side of 32 to 35, even up to 37, right? I think it's the maturity. I think it's the knowledge that a fighter brings instead of being wild. Do you feel that you're coming into that in your career?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like, dude, when I hit 30, it's like, okay, hold on, wait, I need to stretch a little bit more. I need to do a little bit more warm-ups, and I need it's just, man, really, it's just time and wisdom, man, truthfully, bro, and experience. And it's so funny because when I'm at the fighter house and I'm talking to all these guys, these are kids, bro, 18, 19-year-olds. I'm like, yo, I was in your shoes, guys. Yo, start stretching, build good habits, and just trying to guide them, because I was in their shoes I once, but man, you're not gonna. It's tough to kind of explain it to an 18-year-old, and you only really get it through time, man, and that's what I'm starting to feel, bro, at age 30. So I don't plan. I plan on maybe like another 2-3 more years in the game. So I gotta go on it with it full force. But man, I really do see that exactly what you're talking about, bro. The click in your head, or the click in the heart, or whatever it is, that that next level jump.
Yeah. So let's talk about that 3-digit number, the 155. Yeah, right. We've had discussions about this over the years. Sarah said, hey, no more. We're not even going to go down there anymore after that one incident in the Philippines during the PXC, where you just couldn't do it. Your body wouldn't allow it. People were saying, hey, he's just the big bone, Saipan boy who just can't get down there. Man, it looked like this was probably your easiest cut so far in your career, and it looked, it looked like real good cut for you. How did it go?
That's maybe it was my thing. It's a huge part was my fault, and and then back to the whole, you're getting older and getting wiser, and I feel also too, with the wisdom and the age comes more discipline. You know what I mean? And now even more so as a father, as a husband and as a father, like, it's like, yo, I can't be BSing no more. Like, yo, Franklin and Rocky are watching me, I don't want to set that example. You know what I mean? So
okay, so we talked about 155. Okay, so when were you like confident in this process? From the weight cutting to the training. I mean, everyone that, they're talking this crank 2.0 thing that just popped up, right? It's like the transformation of Frank the Crank Camacho, man? When did where that confident of a new you started coming around in your aura?
Dude, honestly, I saw, so here at the fight, right, but after the fight, one of the guys that congratulated me was Jeff Neal's coach. Jeff Neal's coach was out here, and I went up to him after the fight and I was like, "Hey, coach, man, please tell." First off, Jeff Neal's class act, amazing dude. For those who don't know, Jeff Neal was the guy that he head kicked me, and he knocked me out last year, but but he I told Jeff Neal's coach, I was like, "Hey man, thank you, coach, and please tell Jeff," I said, "What's up?" That was the best thing that ever happened to me, you know. And because of that, I had to make all these changes, and because of that, I thought I lost my chance at the UFC, but I was granted a second chance that not a lot of people get. So it's all these different things that took place for me to really have a sit down with my wife and really game plan and like, hey, if we're gonna go down to 55, we're gonna make an attempt. No BSing, like you have a family now. You can't be doing any of this stuff. So I got on a good pro. I was working real tight with Boca Box. They got my weight down from like 195. So I started camp real low, and then got with a meal prep company in California, and then I had to hire a nutritionist to cook me meals here in Stockholm for fight week, and made the so I took care of all the things that I couldn't that I couldn't control, and had the experts just take care of it. And the whole thing, this whole camp, bro, was just trust the process, man, and trust people that are experts in it. Man, landing us tomorrow's, bro, we think we can do everything and we know everything, but it's it's really just trusting the process, and trusting people and their professions, and investing in yourself. A lot of
Um,
investment.
yeah, Lana, the cockfighters are out here in the yard, so excuse the chickens. Now, okay, take us through the fight itself. Man, you're usually people are like, I was getting some messages, man. I thought Frank was gonna gas out. I thought Frank was gonna gas out, but he looked strong in there, throughout. And was that something that worried you? And where in the past you put in too much at the beginning and then kind of lost gas, and now you're again going through that maturity of keeping that level even.
This fight was really, man. I owe a lot to Colin Oyama, Coach Oyama, because I always feel like I'm in the same, like I'm probably in the same shape as I've always been in all my fights. But if you notice, in the fight, every shot that I was throwing was not a heavy shot. Before, every shot was a haymaker, brother. I was trying to, my jab was super hard, my right hand was super hard. But in this, Coach Oyama was like, hey, man, not everything needs to be not everything needs to be a haymaker. Not everything has to be a showstopper. Yo, your jab is just to get your range. And you see that in the fight. Like I was just tapping it with my left hand, and then I'll blast the kick. Tapping with the
Yeah.
left hand, I'll the right hand and step over and then hit him hard with the right hand. So uh crazy, bro. I've been doing this for so long, but I'm still learning so much. And Coach Oyama, I don't know if it's because he's just like a tough Hawaiian guy, but he knows how to really communicate it over to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I noticed you didn't waste any punches. Everything was on point. They were landing, and like you said, in previous fights, you were probably just overextending yourself, just turned into almost wild punches, and you're wasting your energy. And maybe that was the cause of the past. But man, the new look Frank looked really sharp last night, man, and on all assets of and facets of the game.
Yeah, and you know what coach was telling me. He's like, "Yo, Frank, like, what the heck are you doing, bro? Like, you have so much tools in the toolbox, but you're always just bringing a screwdriver to fix the house. Like, yo, you got a hammer, you got a saw, you got a skill saw, you got a jackhammer. Why are you just using the sledgehammer all the time? You know what I mean?" He's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
you're really good at the sledgehammer. You're really strong, but yo, you got tools right here, man. Let's empty that toolbox and let's show the world. and we got to show just a piece of what I got, man. I just showed, I probably kicked the most in this fight than I ever have in my whole career. If you think about it, if you look at all my fights, and it's just really just building that confidence, and Coach Oyama's really helping me just kind of like, hey, what the heck are you doing, bro? Let's kick this guy. You got
Nice.
big island, big island legs. Let's use them. You know.
Yeah. And which part of the early round did you know you got him hurt?
I was actually like, they were the coach and my corner. They were yelling at me, let the right leg kick go, or let the body kick go, let the body, and because I landed one, but I was thinking, I was kind of like, in my mind, I was mentally going back to the old Frank, and kind of like, oh man, I need to land the perfect kick. I need to land the perfect kick. But after the first round, I sat down, and coach was like, yo, we're not gonna get into the brawl. Just set the jab up and just let that thing fly. Because even if I just hit his arms, or I hit his elbow or whatever, it's a shin slamming into his side, and it's gonna just keep zapping him.
Yeah.
And what he was saying too was kind of like, it's just putting money in the bank, just putting money in the bank. No,
Yeah.
he's like, yo, you're physically in shape, and he's gonna break down. The body can only take so much in the later rounds, and actually the plan was to really pick it up. The plan was in the first round to kind of cruise and start getting the range so that I could land the kick. Second round, we were gonna pressure him a little bit more and then pick it up, and then in the third round, we were gonna finish him with the just picking up the pace and the pressure. But yeah, it stuck to plan, and we actually finished earlier than we were anticipating, and it's just high level, next level game planning.
That's awesome, brother. So, what certainly, walking out of the octagon and at the back of the, with the interviews and talking to people, what kind of names are you hearing out there for your next one? I know you want to jump right in, and you're saying that there's not much damage made on this one. I'm sure there's several UFC officials that already are probably dropping some names on you. What are you hearing out there?
What's so funny is that Paul Felder was an announcer, right?
Yeah.
And then I ran into him in the back, and he's like, "Hey, Frank, man, a huge fan." I'm like, "Yo, I'm a huge fan of you." He's like, "Hey, man, I better watch out, man. I might be going up against you soon." I'm like, whoa, it was just, I'm not gonna be fighting Paul Felder, but it's just so cool. It's just so cool, and I never really thought of really just kind of throwing my name in there with guys like Paul Felder, who are top 10 guys, top 15 guys. I'm not gonna be fighting Paul Felder anytime soon, but we're looking at a comeback, but we're still growing, and everyone in the UFC is tough. No easy fights. And I'm really gonna go back to what I learned this camp, is just trust the process, trust my managers, trust my coaches, and trust my the matchmakers, and man, have them make the best decision that they think for me is best. And I'm just gonna go out there and then do what I do best, is fight.
Bro, I know you've been jonesing for this for quite a long time, man. Haven't been in there in a while, so I'm happy for you. Enjoy your time, celebrate, get some sleep. If anyone says, "Hey, where's Frank?" I'm like, "Hey, Frank is knocked out. Let the guy sleep and enjoy this." But enjoy your time over at Sweden. I know you're gonna take a couple of days off. When you get home, enjoy the time with Sarah and the boys, and we'll catch up later. But thanks for your time, and man, congratulations, Frank the Crank Camacho.
GSPN,
Right on,
man, thank you so much, bro. Best coverage ever.